What's going on, everybody? Stefan here, and I'm on with one of our clients, Alejandro. Can you do me a huge favor, man, and just kind of introduce yourself, like what you do for work, your age, and how long you've been part of the program?
Yeah, no problem. What's up, everyone? I'm Alejandro Santiago. I work for the United States Army as a intelligence analyst. I'm 27 years old, and I've been with Pursuit since April of this year, 2024.
Yep. So you've been in April. I don't know what, like, are we looking 8 months ish? Um,
Yeah.
so let's back up a little bit. So when you joined Pursuit, or when you decided to, hey, I'm going to take the leap and kind of go, have you ever worked with another online coach or anything like that before?
Before Pursuit, I have for a short stint of time, maybe like 2 or 3 months. And to be honest, I didn't feel the same vibe or like one-on-one coaching as I did with Pursuit. The person, I won't say the company name just for
Yeah,
respect,
yeah, yeah.
God bless him and his family. But he just sent me a workouts via email and then told me just to generally eat this per week, but no like checkup in, no seeing progress. And for the amount I was paying monthly, I didn't feel like I was actually getting the attention I needed, nor the results.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, like, I don't know if you know this, but for those listening, probably 90, I'd say like a solid 90, 85 to 90% of our clients have never had an online coach. So
Oof.
I should actually, there's a couple like you that like did a program, weren't really happy with it. No, they like you're probably like, hey, online is the best option for me for like my schedule and what I want to do, and I don't need an in-person trainer. But obviously the experience wasn't great. And here's the thing, he could have been a great trainer. It doesn't mean that he had, great tools or systems or processes and stuff like that. And sometimes that's what it is. I do a lot of like business coaching for other fitness coaches and they're knowledgeable, but like if you don't have a good company, you don't have a good company, no, and no shot against that person. But obviously we strive to have, a certain standard of like accountability, delivery. So let's talk about that, man.
Yeah.
What made you want to join Pursuit in the first place? Like, what were some of your goals, regardless of what you knew about us? You're like, hey, I want this coach to help me achieve X, Y, Z.
Mhm. So I would say that for starters, one of the main goals I wanted to do was get stronger, but with the sense of also being flexible. So before pursuits, going through high school, even college ball, it was always just a strength training aspect. And even like my first part of the military back in 2019 to 2022. But at the time, I was suffering from like shoulder pain, knee pains from baseball to now the military, and then being airborne, and then my lower back. So I really wanted to get be a part of a program that not only did I gain strength, but also flexibility and injury prevention on top of nutrition. Nutrition is very big. I read up on it, I continue to do research, but I wanted to like tone in more into
Mm-hmm.
my nutrition. And after I heard about Pursuit and I did my research, I felt like the company could tackle all three of those big three goals of mine to
Yeah.
develop myself not only as a soldier, but as well as a son, a brother, and a friend.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, I love it. You're a high achiever, which is great. And that's part of the reason you've crushed it in the program. So 8 months in, just to give everybody a insight too, Alejandro actually took, we do a Black Friday every year. And we're recording this like right in the middle of it. So he actually took advantage and already re-signed for the next year. So it's going well. But what results have you noticed in 8 months? I mean, obviously you came in with those goals. 8 months in, what have you achieved?
8 months in, not only have I felt 10 times better than what I normally was back in March, but I have seen strength gained. I've seen my I struggled with a little bit of body dysmorphia, but I see my body, my tone, cutting phase and now into the bulking phase. I'm seeing the results of disciplined nutrition as well as getting faster, but more importantly, being more flexible
Yeah.
before and after the workout and being able to do certain exercises and stretches and mobility that I can 100% say I would not have been able to do this time last year.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's been a big shift for me too. And that's kind of why like a lot of people come in from my ad where I'm like, stop training like a bodybuilder. And I think they like, and the reason I say that, and it's a little controversial, is not that bodybuilding exercises are bad. I know there's some in your program, some strict isolated movements. They're great.
Right.
They're necessary for 98% of people that want to look better and build muscle. However, there's other pieces, right? The mobility, the flexibility, the cardio, like that generally is missed from the program, and it's really hard to have not hard, but you have to be in intelligent programming to create a program that has everything, without spending 2.5 hours in the gym, right? Like it has to, and we spend a lot of time methodically making our core programs to be like, okay, does this have the strength? Does this have the mobility? And then we have to have conversations, right? And as you know, like with your onboarding call and communicating with the coach, everybody comes in with a little bit of a different goal. Most of our clients want to burn fat, build muscle, increase performance, right? That 360 approach, that's what we do. However, some people are on one side, like, our SWAT guys are a little more of the performance, or some military. And some people are like, hey, it's more aesthetic for me. And so with that, we have to have programs that kind of are more in those things. But one of the big things we do is we check in with you. How are things going? How's this program? Do you need adjustments? Blah, blah, blah. And so even though your program is not preset, it is tailored to you, but the longer you work with us, the better it gets. And the more knowledgeable you get, right? You've learned things where you can actually make those micro adjustments and those tweaks literally on your own. Like you don't need anybody. Like I'm sure the first you're like, what do I do here? And what do I do here? And now I'm
Yeah.
guessing 8 months in, you're more self-sufficient, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's the ultimate goal. Just like I tell everybody, and for you listening, tell every single person, I don't want to work with you guys forever. Because that's not the goal, right? The goal is to teach you how to fish eventually, or it's a process. But like I want you to ask less questions and be more self-sufficient as you go through the program. And it's worked pretty well. So sounds like you've accomplished a lot of your goals, 8 months into your first program you signed up for, right? So
Yeah.
um, more mobility, better cardio, better self body image confidence. Obviously, you look better. That happens too. Sounds like you're kind of overcoming a little bit of maybe body dysmorphia you had, which is great. I think at a capacity, we all have it a little bit, right? We're hard on
Yeah.
ourselves and
It's like
judgmental.
a mental, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's good to admit, like, hey, I didn't like the way I looked that much. I was scrutinizing these things. But then on the opposite side, you're like, I'm proud of the work I'm putting in. I'm finally looking how I want. I can see when I'm disciplined that it shows. I'm same boat, man. I'm human too. So when I tighten up my nutrition, when I'm consistent with my training, I look better and it makes me feel better. So it's a win-win. Um, what was maybe some of your like hesitancy, right? Because I hope whoever's watching this are probably like, man, maybe skeptical, or, what were your maybe mental barriers before working with us that maybe were stopping you from taking the leap? Obviously you did, but what were just some of those thoughts, do you think?
I say like one of the obstacles was financially. So, before Pursuit, I contacted other fitness agencies, and their price range monthly, quarterly, it was out of my range what I could afford.
Mhm.
And when I saw Pursuit online, I was like, first like this is a legit company, but with that, um, are they going to be pricey? A second one was, you know, how you guys mentioned you guys have like different workouts, right, per different occupations, like law enforcement, military, or um, others. Was the workout that I was going to be receiving gonna was my body gonna react positively to that, or was it gonna be like back to strength training and I'm gonna be feeling it in my shoulders or my
Mhm.
knees?
Mhm.
But took the leap of faith, prayed about it, continue to pray about it to this day. That get spiritually, mentally, and physically fit with the help of Pursuit. And
Amen.
I'm glad I took that leap of faith because it was 100% worth it. And I always tell people, just go for it, right?
Yeah.
Because you control what you can control. This is your life. You control the now and in the future. can't go back
No.
and have no regrets.
Yeah. I love it, man. Solid mindset for your late 20s. So, how's another thing I want to address is like how's just like the interactions been with the coaches, the community, the customer service? Because I can tell you from somebody that does this for a living, and I see other people, it's usually the biggest downfall. Like I said, there's other coach. We're not the only good coaches, guys. No secrets out, right? But it doesn't mean that the customer service and the operations and the communication and stuff's on point. It's coaching, right? And coaching, if you guys don't know, is literally like personal communication. That's like number one, right? Are they quick to respond? Do they actually hear my concerns? Do they actually care about me? Like, are these things the process is going through? So talk about your experience over the last 8 months with that.
Yeah, so my experience with the communication with the coaches and the Pursuit family, it feels like I'm back on my college baseball team. When I say that, I'm talking about like teammates, coaches, kind of like I say it like a family in a sense. When I after every workout and I give my comments, how my body feels, how I felt in this type of exercise, I've always get a response back. Sometimes as early as like 5 minutes, or maybe as later as 2 hours. But it's concrete feedback, and then in the community with the school app, if I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah, it's like our community app. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is encouraging everybody. All the clients are seeing the progress, seeing the gains from the rest of the team, and you just see people motivating and giving wise feedback, guidance. It's like whenever I feel like, oh man, like a down day, half the time I just go into school and I just see
Yeah.
all the progress and all the gains in the Pursuit family, and I'm over there just like liking, commenting. I'm like
Yeah.
that it's like a motivational boost.
Yeah. No,
And
100%.
this is something that I say, man, if it feels good to be a part of a team that is striving for greatness.
Yes. Yeah. And check this out for whoever's listening. In general, I understand that the military, first responders, not only, but specifically like cops, firefighters, EMS, medical, like that people, we crave camaraderie because that's what's in our work. Like when I was in the military, it feels like a team. It feels like you're on a sports team a little bit, like shooting the shit with your buddies and like, like it feels good. And so I'm trying to emulate that as much as I can in the community. And the other thing too is it's good to watch other people win for two reasons. Number one, you're like, okay, these guys are legit, right? You see all the like weekly wins, and it's just like it's not just you. So you're like, okay, I can trust the process. There's multiple people doing well in this program. It is not just Alejandro's crushing it. Like I know that they're doing what they're supposed to do with other people too. So you're like, okay, I'm part of a good community and company. And then number two, like you said, both ways. I know you're a huge motivator. You're helping people out. You're shouting people out. You're welcoming people, which is awesome. But again, it motivates you because you're like, man, these people are putting in the work. They're probably tired. They're hungry. They're,
Oh
they
yeah.
have the same thing and they're showing up. And so it's really cool watching that. And I think in general, most of the community wants to go from like, what I would consider average to excellent, right? Everybody kind of comes in at a different spot, but I want you guys to be hard on yourself in a good way, right? I want you to hold yourself to a high standard. And so a big thing in our community is like excellence. Like we don't make excuses, we overcome barriers because it doesn't help us, right? We find solutions. We're not we're not yelling at you, we're not drilling sergeants, like instructors or whatever, but like I'm gonna look at your issue and say, okay, cool. Now how do we solve it? Right. And that's a big thing for us too. And I know that you've got a lot of that too. Like, all right, let's chat. Where are you at? What do we need to do? And very solution focused in the community. So
It's great feedback, and it's never feels like an insult. It's just more like you're gonna get better after these conversations, after these text messages, or after these posts.
yeah, man. Yeah. A lot of it's mindset, right? Like
Mm.
just like me too. My fitness journey is so mindset more than anything else. I mean, yes, the knowledge and having the workouts and the knowledge around nutrition, but we want to create a structured program that's going to give you guidance and accountability. And it sounds like we've been doing that. So that's great. What would be your piece of advice for somebody that maybe is a little bit on the fence, right? Like the person watching this is probably going to be in the military or in the army too, and maybe they're thinking about like, dang, should I invest? Should I actually do this program? What would you say to that person? Because I mean, you're 8 months in, you have quite a bit of experience.
Yeah. So for anybody, regardless of gender, occupation, if you feel like you're at like a plateau or like a standstill, but you still have that drive in you, go for it. You know, Pursuit. You look, if you've seen the reviews online, you've seen the testimonies. I mean, shoot, you're hearing it firsthand from me. Pursuit has been one of the greatest investments, not only physically, but mentally and even spiritually this year for me. Not only have I seen it gratefully in the gym, I see it in the kitchen, I see it at work, and to have see these gains, see others' gains, and in providing this information that I've learned and exercises to my coworkers over here in the army, and then seeing them improve, seeing
Yeah.
them score
Awesome.
higher on their fitness tests, and then coming back to me saying, "Thank you for all your guidance," which I always then give back, like, don't you could thank me, but most
Yeah.
importantly, thank Pursuit. That comes a long way, and it's something that no money could ever put like a price tag on it. And especially for those in the military that want to get better, physically and nutrition, I can tell you this with the multiple schools actually that I've gone through this summer and fall that are physically demanding, I've exceeded the standards more so than what I originally came into going into the course because thanks to Pursuit and the coaches telling me exactly, all right, being flexible with the workout schedule, what to eat and when, and how to the preparation during the event, and then the stretching afterwards, and the rest, the recovery, more better terminology.
Yeah, man. No, it's awesome feedback. I appreciate it. And it makes me super happy to hear that you're taking the knowledge and kind of spreading it. And we see that a lot, right? Because again, military, fire, cops, generally you guys are super close knit. And I've seen it time and time again. I mean, you've seen some of the big transformations we have, like Josh and some of the big weight loss people. Yeah, they dude, not only do they end up getting like welcoming, 5, 6, 10 people in the program, which also make transformations, but people notice and they're like, what are you doing? And they're giving them advice and teaching. And I'm like, good. Because we can only do so much, right? But if we can affect one person, that affects 10 people and they affect, it's a ripple effect. And that's what I want. I mean, I want to make an impact in this community. So that's awesome that you're not only learning enough, but you're getting enough confidence to even teach others. That's huge, dude.
Yeah,
A lot of people learn, but they're like, I give advice. So the fact that you're at that point is makes I'm goosebumps, dude. That's freaking awesome. That makes me super happy to hear that you are motivating people and people are winning. And it's on you, man. Like I'm not making you share it. That's on you. That's you
no,
just being a really good person. And I'll wrap it up with this. You mentioned a couple times like it's made me in a better place spiritually, physically, mentally. Here's the thing about fitness, guys. I've been at points in my life, and I don't know about you, but I've talked to a lot of clients where I've been at what I would consider like my lowest fitness and my highest fitness. And at my lowest fitness, my mental and spirituality and really every aspect of my life suffers. Like if I look back and I was super honest and I was a fly on the wall, it all suffered, even my relationships. I was a lower version of me. I vibrated on a lower level. Like I was. However, on the opposite end, when I'm on point and I build momentum and my frequency goes up of like who you are and your charisma, every area of my life gets better. My relationships get better. I show up better for my job, better as a dad. Like you said, all those positions that we hold, son, brother, whatever, you're in sister, all those positions. And like that is what it's about. And right now you might be like, oh, I have a belly or I have this and I want to whatever. That's cool. That's all good. I want that for you. And if you work with us, it's probably going to happen. You'll probably get in good shape physically. However, the mental component is so huge because when I see these transformations and I talk to people, they're literally different people. like they're not the same people when I chat with them and I do these interviews. I'm like, you've come out of your shell. I mean, like I don't know how else to describe it besides like you're vibrating on a different frequency. You were here, which isn't bad. You're not a bad person, but you knew you were capable here, and now you're here. So we close that gap because it's not a good feeling knowing that you're capable of more and knowing that like you're leaving stuff on the table. If you care about being a high performer, which you do, I do, I think most people in our community, it's not a good feeling knowing that you are underperforming and you're leaving things on the table. Like your effort is, it could be better. You could do better. That's not a good feeling. However,
Nah,
when you
especially in the
step
bag.
up, nah, man, it's yeah. But here's the thing: you step to the up to the challenge. So have like hundreds and hundreds of other people, and so it's literally I love my job. It's so cool watching you guys show up and put in the work. And hats off to you because nobody made you do it, dude. Not only just the investment side, but just on a daily basis. Nobody's forcing you to do it. Yes, we give you all the tools, we give you the accountability to do that, but like you're still showing up for you. And that speaks to your character, dude. So keep it up, bro.
Always. Thank you so
Yeah, man.
much.
Yeah, I appreciate you jumping on. This was super awesome. I know this will be really helpful to whoever watches it. So thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's